Hey, welcome to another UTS Startups Confessions. Wonderful. So my name is Aaron Ngan. I'm the UTS Startups Inspiration Manager, and we have a very special guest today. And every single Friday of the year, we sit here at the busiest street corner in Sydney, and we interview people in our community to share the journey of pursuing entrepreneurship, to share what enabled success, where people started from, how they got there, and how we can just kind of share that around so that as many people as possible can learn from those experiences. So thank you all for coming. Thank you to the people who are watching us online or on video in the future. Hello from this particular moment in time. So please join me in welcoming our very special guest, Chuhao from Sunflower AI. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So some of you are seeing the Sunflower AI logo already on the screen, and some of you over the last few weeks have seen the live captioning that we've done. So actually this is Chuhao's startup. So Chuhao, in a few moments, can you just, in a few sentences, can you tell us what is Sunflower AI?
Yeah, so Sunflower AI, we are using AI to make a better sunflower. So that's a joke, okay. So we are providing AI live captioning, like what you show saying on the screen.
Yep.
And also AI live translations, yes.
So people can look at that transcription, and you're saying that you can also have a version which translates it into different languages. How many languages can you handle at the moment?
Yeah, we can handle 64 languages.
Yeah, okay. 64 languages. That's probably going to be most of the, that's a lot. That's how I feel. Now, it wasn't very long ago that these things just weren't anywhere around. And now we can see it on the screen here, it's working seamlessly. What is it like? Can you tell us, I want to dive into a bit of your backstory, a bit of how you started, but can you tell us what's gone into having the accuracy so good?
So your question is what we have done to make the accurate.
Yeah, because these things transcription services are fairly new in this sense. I go to some events and there's someone often typing there perhaps, or you've got an Auslan interpreter at the front. That's quite intensive. Why hasn't this been everywhere before? What have you done to add your special sauce?
Yes, I think the biggest special sauce is timing. It's because recent advancement of large language model, like ChatGPT, they can not only doing the previous just a speech to text, but now the large language model is auto-correcting the text based on the context, so make it more accurate. And we are just deliver this newest technology, make it usable for the end users.
Okay, so we've got large language models, we've got auto-correcting. I want to dive in and explore some of those technicalities in a little bit. I know that a lot of people are interested in AI. I know a lot of the terminology is new for a lot of people, so I'd love to understand that better myself. But before you started Sunflower, who were you? How did you get started in this world of entrepreneurship? What led to you deciding to start this business?
Oh, start the Sunflower AI.
Yeah, well, what led to starting Sunflower? Yes.
Yeah, it's I'm helping my wife doing the YouTube. So she's a full-time YouTuber, and she has accent when speak English. So the YouTube's auto-generated subtitle is not very good. And then she always needs to spend lots of time, 30 minutes per 15 minutes video to auto-correct the subtitles. And then we found this problem annoying, and she doesn't have time to cooking, so I need to help her to solve this problem, to improve my life. And I got a linguistic friend, and he helped us fine-tune a model specifically for my wife's accent and jargon in her YouTube channel. And then which increased accuracy from 85% accuracy to 96% accuracy.
Wow, and just so we get a sense of it, how large is this YouTube channel? What type of content? Because you mentioned you fine-tune the model to tailor to the accent and to the context. Why was that significant? What kind of channel does your wife run?
Yeah, my wife's running a tutorial of knitting.
Okay, so how to knit?
Yeah, how to knit.
Okay.
Yes, how to crochet, how to knit. So there's lots of jargon in there. For example, one jargon is sleep, S-L-I-P, which will be transcribed as sleeping, like sleep. So it's very different. So it's for her followers, it's very hard to understand this. It's important for them to understand these terms to be able to learn how to do knitting. So that's why she spends lots of time to manually correct it.
And before starting Sunflower, did you run any other businesses before? When was the first time that you thought to yourself, entrepreneurship is something that I might want to pursue, I might want to explore that? What was that like? Were there any other businesses that you created?
Yeah, that will be a very fun story. So it's back to very beginning, like when I was a high school student. My father working in office, and he started to sell chicken. He invented a high-tech chicken, which is like lots of nutrition. It can extend your life, things like this. And he sells very expensive. Like in China, he sells like 200 Australian dollar per chicken.
Wow.
So it's very expensive. But at the beginning, I was just holding the chicken with him to sell to each restaurant. And at that time, just plant the seed of entrepreneur in my heart. Then just later, okay, it's very fun. I want to do that. Then after high school graduation, during the summer break before I go to uni, so I have two other friends. We invested some money on buying a membership card for cinema. So we can buy the ticket at 50% discount. And then we just wait for the last minute. There's usually some like a male invited some female for dating and didn't buy movie tickets. And we just sell them the movie tickets for the original price. And that's actually my first business.
So the first little side hustle, making sure that people could get the date night movie tickets. And
exactly.
And jumping from that, so that was the start. You mentioned before when we were speaking, you were running another business that didn't work out. What was that like? What was that like jumping into that? And what gave you the go ahead to start that other business?
Yeah, it's like before Sunflower AI, I was studying PhD. I studied my PhD in railway engineering. So we got a startup is like named iRail, like railway. And it's about using AI to detect the audio of the train running on the rail. It's like dong, 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 dong. And we use the audio to detect if there's a defection or fault in the track. And that's our first startup doing PhD. Yeah.
So like you were looking at just the sound signature,
yes,
like microphone at some point on a train.
Yes.
So that you could detect the tracks and the wear and tear and things like that.
Yes.
That's super cool. How did it work out?
Yeah, we went to pitch our idea and we got a few $1,000 from CSIRO. And then we went to pitch in the largest railway conference in Southern Hemisphere. And then we later found it's very hard to prove the concept. It's very hard to get the data in the railway with the secure lots of reasons. So then we stopped that project. Yeah.
And like one of the things that people worry about when thinking about whether they want to start entrepreneurship or start pursuing entrepreneurship is, will I fail? Will it work? Can I do this? When you shut down that project, how did that feel, and what kept you going afterwards? Yeah,
that's a very good question. So, in that experience, I found I really love the startup. It's like get close to the customer. What you are doing is make a big impact in your life. I feel like living alive. And in our bedroom, we have a life calendar. So basically, it's like assume we have 90 years. And they have lots of circles, and each circle represents 1 month.
Oh, wow.
And every time we spend 1 month, we just erase 1 circle. So we have limited circle left. Just reminds me how many time left in my life I should to go to pursue what I want to do. Like instead of like being afraid of failure, like this.
Memento mori.
Yeah.
We are
like
all going.
Just to remind us we
die.
have a real deadline. Yeah. Literally. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really powerful, right? Like, because I can see like, hey, like, what am I doing to be living while I'm living? And so, while I can see a start of a link potentially, because you were looking at audio detection of railway sound signatures to detect faults.
Yes.
And I can see that there's a link, at least in the fact that it's audio. That's actually the only link I can see, but it's connected in my mind. Can you tell us a bit about the transcription? Because you mentioned training the model, you mentioned large language models, you mentioned the live correction and context. What was it like to dive into that process? It sounded like you had a bit of experience, but what was it like to dive in and create something like this from scratch?
Yeah, I learned AI by myself, and I learned the Andrew's machine learning course. It's quite famous, fundamental, during I was a PhD. Okay. And then later I spent 2 months learn the faster.ai course, and then from there I just I'm just doing the AI things. Yeah.
And what does that involve? Like, so when you're talking about customizing for different language or accents, or when you're customizing for specific technical terms, like knitting and crochet are specific technical terms. We've had people who, Neogenics was talking about scientific sperm identification and had a lot of medical technical terms, and the AI seemed to pick it up completely accurately, and that was very, very cool, at least for me to see. What goes into creating those conditions for you to be able to create that accurate representation?
So what goes in for us to fine-tuning the model or customization?
Yeah. Come on, anything that's not a trade secret. They can ask, the audience can, by the way, everyone who's here, we do live Q&A after we turn the live stream off. So that's where you can ask any of the spicy questions that you'd like afterwards. So we'll do that shortly. I'm sorry for the people online. That's an incentive to come in person when you can. Like, can you tell us a bit about that process? How do you generate that input? How do you get those data?
Yeah, it's like for some event, we will have the slides or agenda before the event, and we will have the terminology from there, and we feed into a model, and we use like keyword boosting. Basically, AI models have all the probability of each word, and we just increase the probability of this word. Yes.
So if you've got the input, if you've got a meeting agenda, you can have all the topics. The LLM can say, okay, all of the words on the page, let's boost it.
Exactly.
And then all of the words on the page, like the agenda might have different topics. We're going to discuss this, we're going to discuss that. So we can go, okay, there's likely to be all of these other keywords as well. Let's boost that.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah, actually now for the LLM, even you just tell him this is about a medical conference, it can get better accuracy.
Wow, amazing. And what led you to shift from? Because before you were talking about your wife's YouTube channel, knitting channel, 200,000 subscribers, but now you're talking about event-based transcription. What was the jump? How did you get from that place to where we are now?
Yeah, it's like when we went to pitch our idea at Startup to Scale Up Summit, and we won that prize, and there's a client find us and CSIRO and ask us for if we can use this technology for their live captioning, to provide live captioning for their conference. And then we found, that's very interesting problem. And then we found a large demand. And this customer is easy to approach because you just go to their event they're in person. A YouTuber is not easy to approach. It's like you cannot meet them in person, not that easy. And and also it's also one of my pain as well. I come here as an international student. I cannot get engaged at the event. I feel embarrassed. I really want to say the live captioning, to help me understand. Then I can understand the joke. Then after the event, I got that, and things like this. Yeah.
Yeah, sunflowers.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what I want to ask, what are some of I want to ask about recent wins, and also current challenges. So I'd love to start with the wins. Have you had any recent wins? Where are you at the moment? What's the success look like at the stage where you're at today?
Yeah. So wins is like we got 2 angel investors, and they are also our advisors. We found their experience is really, really valuable for us. And secondly, we got lots of organizations like UTS Startups, like Here in Metals Australia, using our products and helping us spread the word. And actually last weekend, the world's largest fund run, City to Serve, used our live captioning to provide accessibility for their 90,000 participants. So and I was there in the space. I feel it's very good in my life. I'm making product. Of course, we're making profit, but we are making a good impact in our life, and we will really make something to make these people's life better. Yeah.
Wonderful. And what are some of the challenges that you're facing at the moment as well?
Yes, challenges is we are not the software engineer, so we need to build this scalably. Although we now have several repeating paying customers, we still don't have the login, the backend system, and we're building it.
So what you're saying is that this quite shiny experience, just hands up in the room if you can't tell that this is just a prototype at the moment. Hands up if you this is actually really, really good. Yep, okay. So you're saying that there's no login system yet, there's no backend, there's no way for people to this.
And all based on trust. Our clients just tell us how many hours they used, and then just send us money. And that's it. And we just send them, for who want to use, we just send them the link. And we just trust them. Yeah.
Wow. And how do you, what's next for the future? How soon do you need it? Because that's something which I think a lot of people might have in the background of their heads. If I want to create a software platform, I need to have a tech co-founder, or I need to have software engineers, I need to have all of that. You don't have the software engineers, and you're kind of building it as you go. What's coming up next? What are the plans for the product, but also for your engagement in the market with potential customers? What's next for Sunflower AI?
Yeah, we're going to publicly launch our products in September. So people can log in, sign up, pay by themselves. And we have several big conferences is going to use our product in September and October. And we're hoping to building an ecosystem of between audience and the event organizers. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so final question before we open up to the audience and we turn off the live stream. If you could give yourself when you started some advice, or if you could give anybody who wants to start advice, what would you tell yourself?
Okay. I would say overnight success is not real. It really takes time to continue doing things, and the Facebook Zuckerberg story is not. It's just a news, and we really need to be consistent. And put that in mind, we will have less pressure in our mind, so we can move kind of like a marathon. Just keep moving forward. Yes.
Wonderful. So right now we're going to jump onto the in-person Q&A. So to everyone who's watching this video in the future or watching the live stream, thank you very much for joining us. Please join us every single Friday here at UTS Startups at Central on the corner of Harris Street and Broadway. And please join me in the room once again in thanking Chuhao. Thank you very much.
Thank you.